I put a lot of time in the vlogs to make them like little mini like reality show episodes. So before we get started with our 30 things that I've learned, I wanted to thank today's sponsor, and that is Dossier. Dossier is a fragrance brand, and what makes them unique is they make fragrances that are inspired by designer fragrances for way, way less than the designer fragrances cost themselves. Let me show you one for example. So here is one of Dossier's perfumes, and this is called Gourmand White Flowers. I'm gonna spray this. Now this one is specifically supposed to be inspired by Flower Bomb by Viktor and Rolf, which is a perfume that I think is classically delicious smelling. Like if you order something from their website and you want to try one, that one smells great. Anyone would love that. It's like classic scent. And then as another example, they have this woody green apple, and this is supposed to be a dupe for, or inspired by, Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue, which is another extremely well-known fragrance. That fragrance makes me think of my mom. She loves it. But they're at really affordable price points, and they do have a subscription service if you are interested in that, or you can just purchase the perfumes one off. They did provide me with a code for you guys for 10% off, and that code is ASMRXBabe with 2 E's 10. You can find that code and the link to their website in the description box. I've worked with their company before. I love these fragrances. They smell just like, you know, the perfumes that they're inspired by. They're long lasting, the quality is great, they're sustainably made. So go ahead and check out their website, and again, use my code ASMRXBabe10 for 10% off your order. And thank you to Dossier for sponsoring today's video. So let's get right into it. So I will brag and I will have you know, I did not Google these things. I sat with my brain and my thoughts, and I thought, like, what did I actually really learn? Like, becoming 30, like, what specifically was I maybe misinformed about, or wasn't top of mind in my 20s or earlier? And, you know, what are some important things that I've learned throughout the years? This is a mishmash of stuff. This just came from my brain. There's no specific theme, so they could be about money, friendships, relationships, career, like literally anything. So we will start with numero uno, which is very relevant to the, you know, getting older conversation, and that is that young people wish they were older. Older people wish that they were younger. So most of my audience, I think, is younger than me or my age. Embrace the age you are, and don't worry about things like imposter syndrome, or, you know, getting to a like certain age to where you'll finally be respected or happy or whatever. And I think I was thinking of this in like a career way, or like a seeing yourself as an adult way, because, you know, sometimes you could feel, or I might feel like when I was younger, oh, I'm like 23, 24, like, you know, nobody takes me seriously, like I'm too young, blah, 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 I don't have any room to like make an impression. But then, like, and this isn't everyone, but sometimes older people look back and think, oh, I wish that I was so carefree and 22, 23 years old still, and, you know, oh God, my problem is not that I'm not respected in the workplace as a seasoned professional, but it's that I'm outdated and I don't know technology or this, that, and the third. So try to just like romanticize the age that you are right now, because you'll be lucky if you get older and to be able to hit all those milestones pressure to be like, yeah, I'll try it or whatever. And it's like, you don't need to. I stick with old-fashioned wine and whatever I like, so just kind of be confident in your decisions of like what's cool and what you choose to partake in, and don't feel pressured to do anything just because other people are doing it. I know that's such cliche advice, but it's so true, and people won't bother you about it. Like, nobody will care. Okay, the next one is a little sad, but it's important. So for me, so the piece of learning is that people pass away, and it's not fair, but we get through it with the help of our friends and family. So, you know, as you get older, it's like there's more, more people pass away, right? We lose people, whether it's our friends, distant friends, relatives, cousins, whatever. And the more life experience we have and the more we're around, there's just more opportunity for us to see people that have passed away. And for me, at least, and maybe didn't you guys experience things differently, but I was lucky enough to not experience really any sort of like devastating like loss until I was like 22, right, when my aunt died. And like, not my great aunt, right, like my closest aunt that I spent so much time with passed away from cancer. And then, you know, Tony's brother passed away, and even another really good friend of mine, his brother just passed away. And it's like, it makes me sick to my stomach when these things happen. But all we can do is just lean on friends and family and kind of, I don't know, acknowledge that like everyone in life dies. And I know it's an uncomfortable thing for a lot of people to talk about, and they really don't want to think about it, and that's okay. We don't have to think about it every second, but we can't deny that it's a certainty for every single one of us. So, you know, it's like, it's just kind of having that balance between remaining grateful, spending time with loved ones, this and that, but also, you know, understanding in your head that like people aren't permanent fixtures, you know. Okay, we'll get away from that morbid topic. Next one is, big changes don't happen overnight. Have as much patience as you can and embrace your current situation so you can quickly move to the next one. For me, I'm not always the most patient person, so just whether it's like trying to adjust your career, whether it's trying to like get out of a relationship, get over a relationship, move into a new house, this, that, and the other, like, we're always thinking about like the next best thing, and that can be difficult for us to like really be present or like happy in our current situation. And I think I've actually done a really good job with that, of just being really able to be like content and happy with kind of what I have going on in my life, looking back at the past with, you know, fondness, and looking towards the future with excitement, but not like crazy pressure. The next one is stay away from clothes that are super trendy. 80% or more of your wardrobe, and again, this is just my opinion, should be more classic pieces. I'm finally, like, this one was like, this probably should be my number one. I'm finally trying to work more towards getting that, you know, that capsule wardrobe, more classic, timeless looks, or, you know, staying away from the super trendy, like, stuff that, you know, I've seen it now. I'm now at that age where I've seen things come into style, go out of style, and then come back into style. So just kind of, you know, not going too crazy when it comes to trends and like anything that's too wild, and just taking your time to, like, you know, it doesn't mean you have to dress like a nun or by any means, or not have any fun, colorful, unique pieces in your closet. But I used to buy clothes and literally like cheap clothes and wear them like one time, and then I never wanted to wear them so trendy for like 5 minutes. So I'm trying to do better with that, and I think this is the first time in life where I've actually been, for the past couple months, feeling good, romanticizing my wardrobe. Next one, I won't dwell on too much because it's a little repetitive from what I said before, but set aside time to actively, be with your parents. They're getting older too. When I was younger, I could not have cared less to spend time with my family, but now I actively make lunch dates and plans and things with my dad and my mom, and my sister, it's a little harder because she lives in Manhattan, but specifically, your parents, as we age, they age as well, and they're not going to be around forever. So it's important to remember, when you live with your parents for 20, 25, 30 years, you see them every day, it's easy. When you move out, you've got to make that effort. Number 7, understanding that with friendships, it's different in college and high school, and as we get older, we don't see our friends every single minute. But it does take an effort. It's important that you mutually make that effort, and the ones that do are your ride or dies. I still am trying to work through this with my friends. I actually just had a conversation with one of my friends that was kind of addressing some tension, and I was like, look, I miss you, I want to see you more, and so navigating friendships in your adult life, where you're not with your friends every single day in school or your college dorms or whatever, it is a different experience and a different beast, and people start to go in different directions and have boyfriends and other things going on and whatever, but I still prioritize making sure to see my friends very often, especially before I have kids, right? Because that's when things are going to really change. But it's important to for you guys to both make the effort on both sides of the friendship. Okay, next, number 8. I swear, this is so true. And you won't know it when you're 22 years old. No one at work knows what they're doing, and everything is made up. This is literally the spinning rock thing. We're on a spinning rock. Nothing is real, and we're sending emails about emails and meetings about emails, and everyone just made something up at one point or the other. So don't feel stupid at work. Nobody else knows what they're doing. Fake it till you make it. Okay. Number 9. It's important to set the tone in a relationship early on, in a romantic relationship, that things need to be equal, and the man is not there to help you. They're there to pull their weight. I was so excited to move in with my husband and play house and whatever, and we also had been dating since we were children, so I am still trying to unteach some of his habits of just being used to me kind of just doing everything. And if you set the tone, and I don't want to say that as though my husband does nothing and is lazy and rude, and that's not what I mean, but this is a man's world still, and women are often tasked with a lot of the mental load and stuff like that. So if you establish from day one it's an equal split with mental load, with parenting, with everything, I think that's really, really important, because it takes forever to reprogram the dynamic of the relationship, and sometimes it's not possible at all. Number 10, natural makeup is always in style. I used to go nuts all out with the makeup, and no regrets. I worked at Sephora, I was young, I was having fun, but I think the pandemic, things became a little bit more natural, and I've just leaned into it since then. I still wear my makeup, and I'm not shaming anybody for wearing a lot of makeup, whatever. I still wear a full coverage foundation, eyebrows, mascara, lips, blush, highlighter, everything, bronzer, but just I'm talking about the colors being more neutral and less eyeshadow and less of have a heavy brow and things like that, you know, you can't go wrong with that look. Number 11, organizing your clothes by color and piece helps you remember and romanticize what you already own. So again, I kind of talked about this already, but going into like the timeless like capsule wardrobe thing, put things like together that make sense. Like take that time to organize your closet if you can, right? Some of us live in teeny tiny apartments. It's really hard. But if you can see your stuff, you know, I have like my open closet here and know like I need a sweater. Here's all my gray sweaters. Okay, this one looks good. It just makes it so much easier if you have trouble like getting dressed and stuff the way I do, keeping everything organized. 12. You don't have to have the exact same views as your parents. You don't have to be exactly the same as them. I've learned this throughout my 20s. Like, my mom is an amazing person. She's so smart. She knows what she's doing in so many areas of life, but there's certain things that I would do differently than her. For example, she might be a little more frugal with me and think some of the things I would spend my money on might be a waste, and I would disagree and say, I hear you, but it's my money and this is what I want. Or their views politically or whatever the case. You know, something in my head clicked in my 20s and I'm like, let me think about this. Like, is this my view or is this what my parents kind of taught me my whole life and I've just not ever questioned it? So it's okay to have different opinions than your family, your parents. 13, kind of in the realm of that. Things are not always black and white and clear cut, and being able to see a middle ground will really help you in life to have perspective and not be close-minded. I think there's a lot of just like extremist and like totality, like people shutting people down over political opinions or whatever it is today. And I think sometimes it's okay to not completely place somebody in a box or a situation in a box that it's bad or it's fantastic. Sometimes there's some good stuff on one side and good stuff on the other, and being able to be a person that can have a balanced mindset and have perspective and be open to hearing two sides of things without losing their shit or shutting down, majorly valuable. 14. Society/others want us to be on a very specific timeline, but it's your life, so do what you want. You know, I don't get it in a serious way, but yeah, I have a pressure on me to like have kids right now and do this and that, and it's just one of those things where I'm still working through that of being like, it's fully my choice, and things like you don't even have to have kids, and I love to see that people are embracing that more in my generation and the younger generations. This is not 1955. You do not need to do things exactly white picket fence timeline. Like, live your life how you want to live it. So, number 15 is that you don't suddenly just feel like an adult, like when you're 30 or in your 20s or whatever. I still feel 16 half the time, but then there's other times where I jump into a situation and I feel like I'm 45 years old and I'm like, whoa, these kids, 22-year-olds or whatever, are really young. And there's not necessarily such like a lesson in this. It's just like something that I kind of learned. It's like when you're younger, you inspires everyone, like, oh, this person's a narcissist, like, cut them out of your life. Well, sometimes we can't, okay? We can't always cut out people out of our lives. You can't cut, like, your father-in-law out of your life. And I'm talking about not, like, extreme crazy situations where he's, like, punched you in the face or something. I'm talking about when you just kind of don't get along with, like, your husband's family member, or, like, a cousin, or, like, whatever in your own family. Sometimes you have to realize, like, yes, I'm always going to be the bigger person here, so let me take this person with a grain of salt. Let me set boundaries, like, internally, and just, like, be with them in small doses. And yeah, I'll check them if they need to get checked, but we're gonna pick our battles. It's fine, guys. It's okay. I have to do that, I swear to God, with so many people. And you can't just always just cut people out of your life. Like, this just doesn't work that way all the time. 18. Fad diets and anything that these exercise gurus and shit are telling you are bullshit, and how you lose weight is calories in and out. I don't care. I will say that until I die. Like, they're just all the profit that's made off of trying to take advantage of people who are trying to lose weight, and they're like, you're eating too many calories, or I'm sorry, you're eating too little calories. You have to double your calories and go pump at the gym. I'm like, what? Who is having trouble losing weight because they're eating too few calories? Like, that doesn't even make any sense. It really is that simple. And you don't need to do a certain exercise constantly. You don't have to do, like, the elliptical on 12 for 30 minutes, and that's not gonna get you Kylie Jenner's butt and all that. It's like, eat less, exercise a little bit more, and, like, that's literally the way to lose weight. I can't stand all the fads and the keto and the gluten-free, and unless you have celiacs and all that stuff. Like, it's very simple. It's just willpower as well, right? That people don't want to, like, talk about. So I just hate people being sold, like, pipe dreams. Number 19. Gossiping at work is never a good idea. Be careful. Be careful who you trust. I know you think you trust them. Careful what you say. I'm telling you this from experience. Don't do it. Yeah, you want to have somebody that you can, like, mutually vent to about, like, the new HR policy that sucks or something like that. But I'm talking about talking shit on other employees to other employees. Like, be careful. Number 20. I need to go through these a little quicker because I have to leave in, like, 5 minutes. Number 20. People are not perfect, and you can't always expect the same effort from them that you give them. I'm still actually working through this, and I'm like, I don't always have sympathy for people if they, like, bail or if they piss me off or whatever, and it's something that I would not do back to them. It's a tough one because it depends really situationally, but sometimes you have to, like, set expectations in your head for people so that you're not constantly disappointed. And it shouldn't be like that with every person, but some people. Oh, I skipped one. I skipped 20. That was 21. 20 was call your insurance company before paying a medical bill. A lot of times your provider somebody will mess up that bill and just send it to you, and we pay it, and we just don't even think anything of it. Call your insurance and be like, is this the correct amount of, like, what I owe? Like, can you confirm? Especially these bigger bills. My mom taught me that. And people, like, the biggest way people go like, bankrupt in this country is, like, for medical bills. So it's just something that's worth getting smart about, learning about your insurance benefits and stuff like that. Things I didn't have to think about before I was 26 and got kicked off my dad's. 22. Your furniture, your home will never remain perfect or totally trendy. So just buy a mix of timeless, like, big pieces and then fun, trendy, colorful things for smaller stuff that's easier to swap out. You know, stick with your classic colors polish your classic pieces, but then get really fun throw pillows, or maybe a fun nightstand, or a fun lamp, or a trendy lamp. But going too far into any direction of a trend, again, like within your house and your furniture, is just going to be a recipe for a disaster, and you're not going to be able to keep up with it. So you might as well just kind of incorporate like a little mix of everything. Number 23. Traveling is important, but so is saving your money. So don't go nuts in one direction or the other. Like, do both. I have friends that literally stack their money for a rainy day, and I'm like, do you do anything? Have you been anywhere? Like, go somewhere, spend that money, like, do it. But then I have other friends that are like in Europe 15 times a month, and I'm like, are you, like, do you have a savings? Like, are you good? Are you gonna be good? So everybody telling you, like, travel while you're young, yes, do it, but like, make sure you're saving, but then don't be so latched onto your savings that you're not living life. 24. Buying designer stuff is overrated. I've recently kind of come to this conclusion after having all my like designer bags and stuff. Now I'm like, I really actually don't want to wear a brand's label. There's nice, good quality stuff that doesn't have to have labels all over it, and it can be a little chuggy or like desperate to have too many designer things. Plus the sheer cost of getting designer stuff, it's absolutely fucking insane just because it has that logo on it. Like, I have a Louis Vuitton keychain. It was a gift. It was like $300. Like, for what? A keychain? Like, that's crazy. It's like falling apart. 25. You don't need to take everyone's advice, including mine. Take things with a grain of salt, especially TikTok nowadays. It's like, oh my god, everyone has a outlook on life that is like, and you can get sucked into it, but you can be also like, I actually don't care about that. Next. 26. I think I kind of talked about this, but I said some of the things I feel silly paying for are exactly the reason I work hard. So it is okay to have some guilty pleasures. I talked about this in a video on my website before, like, I order DoorDash so much, but for me personally, in my budget, like it's not putting me on the streets. Do you know what I mean? And I really just enjoy it as a guilty pleasure. Same with, like, we have a cleaning lady, and she comes once a month, and it costs $150 for her to clean the whole house, and it's beyond worth it. But it's not something that, like, my mom would think is worth it, but for me, totally is. So that's why we work hard, right? To have the things that are convenient that we want. So it's okay to sometimes pay for silly things, except for designer keychains. No, I'm just kidding. See, do whatever you want. Don't take my advice. Number 27. Not every doctor or medical professional knows what they're talking about. Get a second opinion. Don't just like jump onto taking daily meds every second or whatever the case. 28. I already said that. 29. Dirty martinis are delicious and an acquired taste. And number 30. 30 is the new 20. I don't want to be 21 or 22. I want to be exactly this age. My camera's dying. I have to leave. I love you guys so much. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks again to Dossier for sponsoring. Check the link below and use the code ASMRXBabe10 for 10% off.